You know, and I'm not worried about energizing the Trump base. I'm worried about what it's doing to the fabric of America. I'm worried about what is it showing to the rest of the world. Just as we went through the Mueller report and the rest of the world had to watch as long as we, and it came back and we found out that Adam Schiff lied to us and that the president did nothing wrong. But at the end of the day, I think what the rest of the country want to know, why did it start? Why would any president in the future have to go through this? I'd want to know the answer to the origin of that. And I'd want to make sure it never happens to anybody. What I'm concerned now is the Speaker of the House change the course of that office for the history of this country.
You know, we have watched now, ever since President Trump was elected, the House Democrats have been careening from impeachment theory to impeachment theory. They've careened from target to target. For a while, 10 days or so ago, they were focused on impeaching Justice Kavanaugh. Now they're back to focusing on President Trump. But what we see repeatedly is a complete lack of focus on, concern about evidence and facts. And what Speaker Pelosi did yesterday really was the worst we've seen yet, where she announced an impeachment inquiry without any evidence, without seeing a transcript of the phone call at issue, without seeing any details from the supposed whistleblower. And when you think about what that does, both from the perspective of our constitutional obligation and from the perspective of our national security, it ought to give every American grave concerns that they are dealing with this in a way that is absolutely such a flagrant disregard of their constitutional responsibility. One can only guess that she did it because she was intentionally trying to weaken the president, trying to weaken his hand as he's dealing with crucial issues of national security with our allies and some of our adversaries.
I have one newsflash for the Speaker. She's not doing an impeachment inquiry. She's not doing the steps that it actually takes. It's just another decision by this Speaker and the House Democrats to disregard over 200 years of precedent in this House, where we actually have rules. We actually have things that matter, and they are so bent on getting at this president, especially while he was in New York City doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. They're more like Plinko. You ever watch the old game Plinko? This is the way they're treating impeachment. They just drop the thing in and see which way it bounces. Well, first it was Mueller. First it was this. First it was and they just trying to hit the imaginary target of getting rid of a president that they don't like. We've talked about a speaker who no longer can honestly stand before the American people and honestly be a voice for her party or for reason, because what they're supposed to be doing, they're not doing. And when they actually attack on a hearsay, when they attack with not even seeing, it just shows how desperate they have become. And when they become that desperate, it leads to a dysfunction in our committees. The Democrats now have frankly fallen to a disgraceful status. They need to explain to the American people why they've chose to trash the House instead of build up the American people and help this president when he is wanting to put America first.
Yesterday was an unbelievable day to see the Speaker of the House do what she did about a document that she hadn't even seen. And my guess is because they are so focused on attacking the individual the American people made president of the United States, that they're looking for anything and everything. The Michael Cohen hearing didn't work for them. The John Dean hearing didn't work for them. The Mueller report and Mueller hearing didn't work for them. The Lewandowski hearing didn't work for them. So let's do a press conference and let's talk about something we haven't even seen, because maybe that'll work. That's how desperate and ridiculous this has gotten, and I think the American people see through it. They see clearly the job that this president has done, and they appreciate that, and they think what the Democrats are doing is ridiculous. And frankly, the precedent it sets is dangerous as well. So, look, we'll look at the document, but I think the facts are that they got nothing else, and they're doing the kind of things that they did yesterday. 160 some Democrats, I think, are wanting to move forward about something they haven't even read, haven't even seen. I don't know that we've ever seen that in the history of the Congress.
Yesterday was a low point in Nancy Pelosi's speakership. And when you see a Speaker of the House come forward and accuse a president of the United States of breaking the law to the level that it should meet the definition in the Constitution of high crimes and misdemeanor, without even being able to name the crime, without having even read the report that she's basing this wild and irresponsible accusation on, is the height of irresponsibility for Speaker of the House to do that. But the fact that they're using this majority to try to undo the results of the 2016 election is disgraceful. Nancy Pelosi is wasting her speakership trying to undo the results of the 2016 election by impeaching the president with no basis. Nancy Pelosi is using impeachment as a check on the electorate because she doesn't agree with the results of the 2016 election where people actually elected Donald Trump president. She cannot name one high crime and misdemeanor, and yet she still wants to move forward with impeachment. It's disgraceful.
The Democrats have voted 3 times to impeach the president. Twice they voted before the Mueller report even had one word public. I just watched the speaker yesterday demean the office of the speakership. Make no mistake, yesterday was a dark day for America. It was a dark day for the rule of law that the Speaker of the House would claim a president violated the law without ever having any information to judge it on. It was a dark day for national security. That you were willing to jeopardize the national security of our country today and in the future because of your own political bias. Name me one world leader, regardless of who sits in the Oval Office, of how honest of a conversation they are going to have if they're fearful that the transcripts are going to become public to the world. It was a dark day for the rule of law. That a president's going to be held guilty without any proof in the process. It's a dark day for the rule of law when we watch a former vice president tell the public that he did quid pro quo. That he told another country that he would hold up $1 billion if they would not fire a prosecutor that was looking to his own son that he flew on a Air Force Two. That if they did not fire them in 6 hours, he was leaving. It is a dark day for the Congress, for the actions of this speaker, but more importantly, for the action of this majority party. They promised the American public they would be different. But USMCA is not coming to the floor. They promised the American public that they'd work together. But when we have a bipartisan prescription drug bill, they put a poison pill so it can't become law. They promised the American public that they'd protect them. But they will not improve the immigration system of America to solve the problem. They promised they would be different. And they have not. I'm not speaking to you as a Republican leader. I'm speaking to you as an American that's disgusted with what has taken place by the Speaker of the House and the action of this majority party, who's only driven because they did not like the outcome of a 2016 election. It is time to put people before politics. It is time to run by the rule of law. It is time to uphold that you look at evidence before you judge whether somebody is guilty. And you know what? It is time to stop putting the American public through this nightmare. How many more months will we have to investigate? How many more millions will we have to spend to prove that they are wrong and the election is over? I know they are better than this. I'm just asking that they act like it. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to see if you could, you've talked a lot about constitutional violations. Wanted to ask if you could respond specifically to what Speaker Pelosi said yesterday when she cited what she believes is a violation. I'll just quote from her
Please.
From the transcript. She said, "The president has admitted to asking the president of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. The actions of the Trump presidency revealed discernible facts of betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of national security, betrayal of integrity of our elections." So I guess two things to focus on there. They're saying
The president did not say he did that. You have not read the transcripts, and what is being said about the transcripts, let's think what the Democrats are saying. They're claiming that the president did a quid pro quo. They're claiming that the president brought up Biden 8 different times when no one has read this transcript, and the Speaker of the House, the individual who's in line to be president if something happens to the president or the vice president, claims there's a violation of the law based upon a whistleblower of facts that she never read and a whistleblower that was not even on the phone call. Now the President of the United States is being put in a position that no other president in the history of this country has to do. That he is going to release a transcript of a conversation with another world leader so the entire world can see it, simply because they want to impeach him. He has to continue time and time again. How many millions of dollars did we go through with the Mueller report? This speaker that claims the president violated also nominated Adam Schiff, the congressman of our Intel committee, that is a gathering for our national security. The same individual, Congressman Adam Schiff, who had lied to the American public for the last 2 years, who looked into a camera and said he had proof beyond circumstantial evidence. Well, you know what? We spent millions of dollars, more than a year. We went around the world from our very best people from the FBI and others, and they found that was a lie. But he's still sitting at the helm of a chairmanship dealing with the national security. And at the same time the speaker sits there, she listened to a vice president, in his own words, say that yes, he did hold up money to Ukraine unless they would fire a prosecutor that worked for Ukraine, that was looking after his son's activities.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to the press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a... got fired.
Not one word about that. No, I think what the speaker did was a dark day, not only for this institution, but for the rule of law, and she put this country in harm's way when it comes to national security and our view around the world. At the exact same time, the leader of our country is sitting in the UN meeting with other world leaders, a challenge with Iran, a challenge with China and others. And she stands before that she's going to do a press conference all day long to say what's going to happen with impeachment. And she claims he violated the law with no proof, with no information, simply the fact that she does not like the outcome of the election. That questions her ability to even be speaker, in my eyes. Yes, ma'am.
Two questions. First of all, do you believe that the White House should make this transcript and the whistleblower complaint public? And secondly,
they shouldn't have to, but they are.
But secondly, do you think that the White House would have done so had the speaker not taken the action she did yesterday?
First of all, naming any president, should they have to release the transcripts of every conversation they have with another world leader? The only thing they have time for is try to change the course of the 2016 election. But you know what this president has done? He's gone beyond what any president has done before. He is now putting forth the transcript so everybody in the world can read each word that he said to another world leader. And it changes a whole different standard for us. And you know what? In the end, it will make the country less safe by the actions of this speaker. So I think at the end of the day, the speaker owes an apology to this nation, and I think it's even questioned why she should stay in her job. We are done with this.
And before you go, check out our new shirt designs in the shirt store. Here's the Beta Hates America design. Hell no, you're not taking my AR-15. And nobody needs an AR-15. Well, nobody needs a whiny little bitch either. And yet, here you are. And against all enemies, Democrat and Republican. There are over 90 other kick-ass designs in the store and the links in the description. Your purchase supports the message of freedom on this channel. If you get something out of this content, help me beat YouTube's censorship algorithms by liking and sharing this video. And while you're here, why not watch a couple more of my videos? Until next time, stand firm, stay vigilant, and for the sake of all that is right and good, stop giving your rights away to tyrannical psychopaths who want to destroy this country.